Hello and welcome to Fixing South Sudan, your ideas for building the new nation. With me, Ngor. This week on Fixing South Sudan, a special interview with former Governor of Boma State, Honorable General David Yao Jongkuch, and Honorable Akot Lual, Presidential Envoy to the defunct Pibor administrative area. What is their take on the widespread rumors of a third General Yao insurgency? It's my pleasure to welcome both of them to Fixing South Sudan for the first time. General David Yao, welcome to the show. And I want to start with you because the talk of the week has been that you have rebelled. What is the truth about this allegation? Welcome.
Thank you so much, Madingo, and all the listeners. My brother Kolwal. My being here alone is answer to that burning question that others have met it and circulated it all over across the globe, that I have declared the third rebellion of having no private or even national agenda. So all those, to me, I term it just kind of politics that some of our politicians from our own communities have met it themselves, so that they try to fix their aids, politically maybe to this position of a greater people administrative area, because many of us have really contested so much that everybody tries to put himself or herself there as the best candidate that can be, appointed by the president. But to me, I don't think that it is advisable way to always, sway this country in these negative talks. Because if we just accuse ourselves and say Mr. X and Y has done this and that, which at the end of the day, this information are not true, then when will we say the truth as the leaders of this country? So briefly, these messages are not true. They are just made up and founded an allegation that have been made by individuals. There are even some politicians that put their own interests. They said Yao has been frustrated because he has waited for president to set up the state government, and it takes some time. That's why. So he did not, get more patient. Instead, he left and went his own way, which is not true.
Do you think
so it is not only GPA that's delayed, but it is, all over the country.
Do you think the intention is to push you into another rebellion?
Of course, there are some people of different interests. Up to now, we still have some, officials from this country who are, even the members of SPLM, they are still outside the country. And they have even defected from the SPLM as their mother party and formed their own parties. So they are looking for the ways even to, destroy this government of the Republic of South Sudan under the leadership of His Excellency President Kiir, so that the agenda is contributed for what they wanted, which is not true. That one will never materialize.
What people say is that there's no smoke without fire. What do you say about that?
Well, sometimes there's smoke even without fire. So this one of mine is smoke actually without fire, because there's no reality there. So I did not announce it myself. So what were the reasons? I'm well off. I have a family, and I have my own property. I'm well-being with the government. I'm still even the chairperson of the SPLM in former Boma State and currently Greater People Administrative Area. Where should I again run along with these titles? Where
they
will
are
I
saying you did it before the first time, the second time, you can do it the third time. And maybe you can walk us as to how you went back to your area, because that is fueling this suspicion that you have rebelled. How did you get out of Juba? And there is a task force on COVID-19 that clears whoever goes out of the state, out of Juba. How did you leave Juba? That is the question.
Well, we left Juba with the arrangement of His Excellency, the CDF Chief of Defense. So that was where our arrangement together with General Arden Konkong, who is the Director of Air Defense in SSPDF General Headquarters. So our arrangement of going to Pibo was arranged under the office of CDF Chief of General Staff. So we were facilitated. Our message of going there, it was clear. Of course, we went there purposely for the two messages. One is to help those sowers, those of General Adoch, who happen to be defected again from former comrades to South Sudan, other political parties. They were all along with Thomas Trillo, and they have decided again with General Khaled to be their horns together, under the umbrella of SOAS. So finally, they decided to declare themselves to the government, and they were former members of former commanders, of which we were, part of their former leaders. So, and we, as the SPLM chairperson in the area, so I felt I have to welcome them back to SPLM as the mother party, and also to SSPDF as the general also in this organization. So that was the one reason. The second one is, to talk to the youth. This situation really is very harsh in people following those unusual attacks from the neighboring youth, and everything is almost falling apart. There's no government in the area, so we felt also as the ringleaders of the community, so we can send the messages of peace, dissemination to the rest of the youth, so that they stay calm. They should not do things in their own way. So, these are the main messages that we went there for.
Let me make a clarification. You heard that there was a brewing rebellion against the government in the Murle areas, and then you asked permission to go and quell the rebellion and to talk to the youth. This is the reason why you went. It was not to support them, but to quash the rebellion.
I think it was, if we really want to talk about rebellion in the areas of Murle, it was the one I did myself as the leader of that time. From that time up to now, we don't have any rebellion in the area.
But there was mobilization.
Yeah, that one is not rebellion. It was just mobilization.
There was mobilization, and you went there to stop the youth.
Actually, we went there to quench down the fire as the ringleaders of the community. There's no any rebellion there in the area since we came into the government.
There are videos that have been circulating showing that you are wearing uniform and you are commanding Cobra, and that indeed you went yourself. Now you have clarified, but they said that you went to mobilize them. What do you say about that video where you are wearing the uniform, if your intention was to go and quell whatever the situation that was there?
Well, those videos, they are just using those old videos that were existing there in March, early March. So, when youth from Ngor came and attacked the area, so we happened to be sent there so that we helped the situation. So General Kongkong and myself, we were there. So there were some whole, photos which I was on with the uniform. Even there were photos we took here in Bilfam when we were called, all the generals we were called to show up some activities here in Bilfam. So they took all those photos and attached it there to those videos. Those videos is not the recent one, but those were the whole existing videos that they just fixed it together so that their interest is matched together.
This happened in March, so it's not that old. And do you say, they are saying, what is the justification that a former governor would now put on a uniform? Did it mean that you were joining your people? What was the intention? Well,
our intention is, as a general, sometimes if we go and talk about, military issues, we have to appear on our uniform so that it suits with the information. If we do, political and other things, that's where we'll appear with the normal, wear. So appear in the military uniform does not mean anything threatening to the public. It was our normal military, way of doing things. So that one is just normal appearance. It doesn't threaten anybody, and we are not doing anything that harm our public by being on the military uniform.
Let me bring in Honorable Akot Lual. For General Yao Yao to be governor, Yao Yao, you played a big role. You took a risk at some point saying, I am going to try to convince Yao Yao to leave his rebellion and come back to the government. And so if there is any discussion about, first of all, let me just ask you, what do you make of what people are saying, that Yao Yao has rebelled again?
The day I heard about the rumors, I called him. But I knew that these rumors were not true. I called him and I talked to him. He told me, what the people are saying is wrong. I told him, okay, the first thing you need to do is to go to Bor. And then we'll look for transports to pick you up from Bor. So to me, from day one, I just disregard this information because it was just a lie. And I know, when you rebel, there must be a reason for that. You cannot just pick a gun and then start fighting. First of all, you must have army. Second, you must have a vision and mission. what are the reasons you want to fight? The reason you went to Bui last time is to have their own administrative area or state. Now they have it. It's the full general now. You get more than what you asked before you went to Bush. Now what is the reason for second or third rebellions? So to me, it was just created at least to test or to push them away anyway. This is the way I look at it.
And
But
what would be your message to those people who are, they indeed, they want peace to prevail in the area, but they are saying that Yao Yao is part of the problem, that he went and mobilized the Murle and he came back. What is your take on
that? That one is not true. Let me clear something here. When Yao Yao went first time in March, there was attack by the Launair and they captured Lakwangale. So Yao Yao went from here with the Kong Kong. They were coming to capture the Bibor. So they were going to at least to protect the city, the capital city of Buma State. That was the mission because there was no government there. And then the attack came and they captured Lakwangale and they were moving close even to the capital city of Buma State. That was the reason he was sent there. And that's the reason he was wearing the uniform. So he was wearing this uniform to tell the youth, look, this is a war. If they come and attack the capital of Buma State, we must defend it. So that's the reason. But the second time when he went from here, he was not going for that because the youth were already chased away and there was no fighting. He went there for the family issues, to visit the family and talk to his family, or even to talk to the youth not to attack Bor and not to attack Nuer. Because when they attack them, they will come and attack them also. They will rebel. So Yao Yao was just giving the message of peace to the youth in Buma State, and then he went to Bor also and passed the same message. So I think that was the reason.
Every time General Yao Yao name comes up, your name also comes up, and you are presidential envoy for PBOR, and people want to know what is your special connection with PBOR and with David Yao Yao?
My connection with PBOR and Yao Yao, it was when David was fighting the government. And I went there, I approached him, and I asked him to lay down the guns and then sit and discuss. And he listened to me. So we brought the peace with Yao Yao. That is my connections. And that relationship is still, because I feel like we can do, not only in Bibor, we can go to other areas also and do the same thing.
People go very far even to accuse you of supplying arms to the Murle, that you have been harboring your own agenda. Maybe you have business interests in Murle areas. You have heard of these things, and maybe Yao Yao is your business partner. Can you clear the air?